Hi, welcome to our video presentation. We are sharing with you some information about the importance of interpersonal communication skills in our personal and professional lives. By the way, what is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is face-to-face communication. It is a skill of how people exchange information through verbal and non-verbal messages. The way we interact with other people is the most important factor for developing successful personal and professional relationships. The problem is, sometimes it is difficult to embrace fruitful interpersonal communication, even with all your efforts. The good news is that these skills can be improved through knowledge and practice. So, what seems to be causing the problem with your interpersonal communication? Are there ways to improve it? Firstly, fail to understand the reasons why people communicate differently. This leads to our inability to accept other people's communication styles. Secondly, we used to focus on what is said, but tend to neglect other unspoken messages sent to us throughout the communication. Do you know that people with different personalities act and communicate differently? Having knowledge about types of personality will enable us to understand our own and others' communication strengths and weaknesses, making it easier to adapt to the differences. It may take a whole life to master communication skills, but you can always develop them. As you progress, you tend to detect unspoken messages much easier and faster to your advantage. Most importantly, being able to understand the true meaning of the message sent to you, be it verbal or nonverbal. The fact remains. People with different personality types act and communicate differently. This brings us to the next topic, which is personality and communication. Do you know that all of us are grouped based on our personal preferences? Firstly, when directing our attention and energy, our preference is either extrovert or introvert. When dealing with information, our preference is either sensing or intuition. When making a decision, our preference is either thinking or feeling. And lastly, when dealing with our lifestyle, our preference is either judging or perceiving. Naturally, our personal preferences combine to form our personalities. There are 16 sets of personality types resulting from this combination, each one with its own communication strengths and weaknesses, affecting the way they communicate. Well, what are those 16 personality types? And do you know which group you belong to? And what are your communication strengths and conflicts? It is important for you to know it. By knowing your personality type, you would be able to know what effects does it bring to the way you communicate. And moving forward, you can progressively improve them through knowledge and practice. If you have known yours, how about others? Is it possible to identify their personality types and the way they communicate? Being able to know others' communication styles would be an advantage to you, since you would be able to adapt to differences and communicate confidently. Please remember that if you have your own personal preferences, so do others. What are the advantages of having knowledge about personality types and their communication styles? Firstly, we will be aware of personal preferences and how they form into personality types. Secondly, we will know about our own personality type and learn to identify others. In addition, we can explore each personality type in terms of their communication strengths, weaknesses, and ways to improve them. And lastly, we will learn to appreciate and adapt to communication style differences to our advantage, and communicate more effectively. Look no further. Join our 2 days of effective interpersonal communication training. We are a registered training provider. Our trainers are certified with Train the Trainer qualification requirements, and our courses are claimable. At the end of the training, participants will clearly understand their own and others' personalities, and the differences between one type to another. The fact remains. Different personality types of people act and communicate differently. Participants will learn to interact more effectively, regardless of personality and communication style differences. Participants will also learn about interpersonal communication skills. This easily understood and ready to apply skills are in the second part of this training. There are 19 skills to learn. Look up for part 2 of our video presentation for more information. We will be more than happy to share our knowledge and experience with you. Our trainers are trained professionals. They are experts in their field and easily approachable. To remain competitive, we strive to constantly upgrade and fine-tune our training methodologies in line with our clients' business environments. We used a variety of learning processes that will engage learners throughout the training. Our training programs are tailored to current business needs, an environment that is relevant and readily applicable. We make learning fun, because we believe that people learn best in a relaxed and enjoyable environment. We have lined up activities throughout the 2 days training program. All these activities are relevant to the topics that help the participants to understand more and to experience what they have learned. We have carefully chosen activities that are enjoyable, but at the same time maintain the highest standard of preserving the respect and dignity of participants. There are more than 20 fun-filled activities that await you. Join us and learn how you can develop your interpersonal communication skills toward effective and lasting personal and professional relationships. Don't let interpersonal communication be a wall between you and others, but as a bridge.